Drake Maye is officially a New England Patriot, but what impact will his rookie contract have on the team's finances this year? Stick around. You're about to be locked in to the Locked On Patriots podcast.
You are Locked On Patriots, your daily New England Patriots podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello to all of you Foxborough faithful, and thank you once again for making Locked On Patriots a daily part of your New England Patriots coverage and also your first listen each and every day. Remember, Locked On Patriots is not only a proud part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, but we're also free and available on all platforms, including YouTube. So smash that subscribe button and download and follow Locked On Patriots wherever you get your podcasts to ensure that you're getting the latest episode as soon as it's available. I'm your host, Mike Debate. I cover your New England Patriots for Patriots Country, so reach out to me and let me know what's on your mind on X at MDABATENFL. While you're out there showing some love to Locked On Patriots social media style, please follow our account there as well at LO_Patriots. And of course, Pats fans, today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 with any winning $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. And Pats fans, your New England Patriots have now signed 5 of their 8 draft picks. New England announcing the signing of Drake Maye on Tuesday. Of course, that comes on the heels of the signing of receiver Javon Baker last week, Marcellas style, Joe Milton, and Jahiem Bell. New England is still awaiting the signing of second-rounder Jalen Polk, offensive lineman Caden Wallace, and of course their day 3 selection, their first day 3 selection, number 103 overall in offensive guard Layden Robinson. But all eyes are on May, but what we need to do is take a journey back in time into our Wolfian time machine and chronicle exactly how the Patriots draft class got to the point it's at today. And the only member of Patriots Nation capable of giving us such an update is none other than the salary cap top gun. That's right, folks, the Pharaoh of Foxborough Finance. And every time he comes and drops by the pod, I have to give him a new name. I'm contractually obligated to do so. He is the commander-in-chief of calculations. Most importantly, he is my good friend.
I love it. All right.
Miguel Benzan, the PatsCap himself. Bud, what can I say? It's always my honor and privilege to share the microphone with you. Thank you so much for coming by Locked On Patriots today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I just can't believe, Mike, our luck. We had scheduled this like last week, all right? And then I would have bet dozen donuts that we would not have any news today on the Patriots, and of course they signed Drake Maye. Because I literally, folks, I work on gave myself when I do a session with Mike, I send him a workbook. So on the move over the weekend, I'm doing this. I gave myself some homework, and of course they signed up. So I had to update a couple of the tabs on it. It cracks me up because I'm literally if you follow me on Twitter at PatsCap, you probably heard me say that I did not, and I think I might have said this to Mike in April. I did not expect him to sign Drake Maye until July. Because that's been the rule of thumb lately, that a top 10 quarterback doesn't usually sign their contract until July. So, and it's good. It doesn't make any sense anymore to wait on this. Just make it happen. Because literally, for the first round contracts, they're pretty much set. And especially if you're a quarterback drafted early, we knew the parameters of the deal were set. And as Joel Corey had pointed out, it's likely that Drake is going to get all of his signing bonus in one lump sum, right? Mm-hmm. So the later first round draft picks might negotiate about when they get the entire signing bonus. Some might get it right after the sign, and then a couple of months later, and then some next year. All right, but it's likely that Drake will get the entire sum in one entire signing bonus in one payment. It really doesn't matter to the cap because it gets no matter when he gets it, it'll get divided by 4. So it takes the Patriots on underneath the $50 million limit cap space number. So hopefully, maybe, but unfortunately, we still get, let's put it politely, beat writers mixing up cap space and cash. And we'll talk about that and setting the record straight. Okay.
Absolutely, folks. You know, it's a segment unique to this pod where Miguel will set the record straight. And your new salary cap number, $46,398,877. I say it all the time, folks, and I mean it every time I say it. Miguel's number is the only one I need. It's the one I go by, and I believe the most accurate salary cap number you will find anywhere in Patriots media, anywhere in NFL media. That's why we have him on. That's why he is the commander-in-chief of calculations, folks. But Miguel, I think you hit on a very interesting point in that this contract extension came a lot earlier than expected.
Yeah.
Usually expecting these first rounders to come in the month of July. This coming in May. Really even before mandatory minicamp, just after rookie minicamp during OTAs. So in a moment, I'm going to ask you to walk us through Drake's contract extension and what it means for the Patriots and your thoughts on the timing. But if we could, I'd like to hop in our Wolfian time machine, as I said earlier, and go back to the Patriots announcing the initial rookie deals. And I know you said that there's a progression here. So we want to start with the announcement of the rookie signings of Marcellas, of Jahiem Bell, and of Joe Milton. Then we can kind of walk through how we got to Javon Baker, and then ultimately how the Patriots arrived at Drake Maye.
Okay, folks, like the Patriots are pretty standard in how they sign their draft picks. Some teams like to sign the draft picks all in one bunch. The Patriots go from the 7th round usually all the way up to the 1st round. All right. So this is why I said to Mike in April, I thought they would do Drake and Polk in July. All right. And even though draft picks are slotted these days, all right, there is some negotiation going on. All right. But not in the 1st round, not in the 7th round, not in the 6th round, not in the 5th round, and not in the 4th round. And no longer not in the 3rd round. But most of the negotiations now in the 2nd round. So I should have guessed maybe that Polk would take longer than May, but May was getting so much money. May is going to get a tremendous amount of. He's going to get like a $23 million signing bonus. He's going to take home the second amount of cash this year from any Patriots before incentives. All right, which I'll save. Talk about that a little bit later. About the cash spending in the second in the record straight. Okay. So with Milton, we could just bring him up, right? All the 7th round, Bell, all the 7th round picks, all they do is negotiate about if they're going to get for the Patriots, it's straightforward. You get your signing bonus. If you get hurt the first year, you're gonna get a split salary. If you get hurt the second year, you're gonna get a split salary. If you get hurt the first year, your minimum salary for the second year is going to get lowered. So this idea, this is Joe Milton, for this idea that, hey, Joe Milton's going to get the Foxborough flu, all right? And in order to stay, and even though he's healthy, he's going to agree to say he's going to injured, and he's agreed to get on the Foxborough flu. That's going to cost him money in 2024 because his salary drops down from $795,000 to about $400,000. And it's salary, instead of being $960,000 in 2025, will be $840,000. So that's like close to $500,000 for this Foxborough flu thing. Okay, all right. And this is before we say that every time you plays a snap, they make money on the NFL before the performance-based pay thing. All right. So that's, every time a player makes that, especially if you're lower salary, you make money. Every snap gives you some money at the end of the day. All right. This is a pretty straightforward. They could cut them anytime and create cap space. That's the downside of being a low round, a day 3 pick. Your team, you create cap space by losing, by cutting you. It's a pretty straightforward deal. The only guaranteed money is the signing bonus. You got a signing bonus about $183,000, and that's it. He's not going to get protected That's not going to save him any. We're not going to cut him because we're going to lose, that kind of dead money. All right, and when you're the cap is $255 million, $183,000 in dead money is meaningless. All right. So we showed Milton. It'll be around the same numbers for Bell, and let's go with the. And I should say this because Joe Milton's a quarterback. It doesn't matter what position you play. The slot, the amount of money you get is the same. All right. But back in the day when I first started doing it, it didn't matter what position you play. You would get more money, especially at the top of the draft. All right. So Marcellas Dow is member of the secondary. He's gonna get a small sign. He got a small signing bonus. Okay. Now his signing bonus, you can see, is just a little bit bigger than Joe Milton. All right, but really it doesn't protect him at all. All right, he's got a chance to play some snaps on defense. All right, and the more snaps he plays, the better chance he gets to 35%. I don't think he'll get to 35%, but the more snaps you play, it helps you get to 35% for over the 3 years. And if you do that, Mike, all right, you raise your salary from the $1.19 million in 2027 to the low RFA tender, all right? And by that time, it could be like $4 million. So if he plays, Marcellas Dow plays 35% of the snaps. If Hakeem Bell plays 35% of the snaps, all right? I dealt with Joe. I don't want, no offense to Joe Milton, but I don't want him to see him playing 35% of the snaps, all right? Okay, I want Drake Maye out there, all right? All right. They can raise their salary in 2027 by several $1 million, all right? And folks, this is why I'm like one of those guys who say, like, when people say, oh, the Patriots have X amount of cap space in 2027, all right? Those numbers, they don't take into account the fact that some of these players' rookie deals, these players are increased their salary. The same way that Ramondre Stevenson, his salary is $3.3 million this year because he's played enough snaps in his first 3 years of his rookie deal to raise his salary. All right. Okay, and that's what I don't want to rant anymore. Okay, let's move. Okay, and then we go the next. We did Milton, we did Bell. I will talk about Bell, and then we got Baker. All right, he's a wide receiver in the 4th round. He got a pretty decent amount of cash. All right, his signing bonus was over $800,000. All right, Mike, I've said this before to you. Every healthy 4th round pick has made the week 1 roster since 2000. All right, since Bill Belichick. That's true for most teams. All right, occasionally every couple of years or so, there's a 4th round pick gets cut. So you could put in the 50. If you're doing a 53-man roster projection, you could put down Javon Baker. All right, and I should say, for Hakeem Bell, the 7th round pick, it's less than 50% of those draft picks can make it to the 53-man roster. 6th round picks is a little bit higher, but still less than 50%. And they have a lot of guys for some reason who've been drafted in the 6th round picks who have been on IR. All right, the first year. And then we go to my Drake Maye. All right, which just cracks me up because it happened today. I was not expecting that. All right. And I didn't even put in, okay, folks, I am so sorry. All right. Column D is supposed to say roster, 3rd day training camp roster bonus. I am so sorry it doesn't. All right. Okay. So you see where it says salary in for 2025, and it says 900, and as I pointed, it doesn't really help you. $960,000, and the next column over it says $1.5 million. So that means in the 3rd day of the 2025 roster training camp, Drake Maye will get that amount of money in a roster bonus. All right, because he got drafted that high. All right, that's typical now. All right, so he doesn't get that $1.5 million over the next 36 weeks because, folks, the player's salary gets paid over a 36-week time period, starting in September for the next 36 weeks. All right, you can see, and it's all of it's guaranteed. All right. So if you were to cut him, you would at any time you would eat all that dead money. All right. So obviously you save some dead money if you were to trade him. He's gonna and you can see right now is why if he plays well, all right, you can see he's got an API of $9.16 million. He's right now the 25th highest paid quarterback in the league. If he plays, he doesn't even have to, all he has to do is play like the 16th, 17th best, right? And the Patriots are getting so much value for that. All right. If he plays anywhere near like this, and if he gets placed like the 10th or the 5th best, oh my goodness, you're talking about somebody who should be earning $50 to $60 million, and we're paying him $9.16 million. All right. It's not in the reporting, and I don't notice, and I won't notice for a couple of weeks, Mike, if you got the signing bonus all at one time. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't matter. Okay. All I can tell you right now, it gets prorated the same. So if he got the $23.5 million, if he gets it like $20 million in today and $5 million in 2025, it doesn't matter. The proration stays the same, Mike. All right. You can see right here, it's kind of funny, Mike, that his cap number, all right, is $6.661 million. All right. He replaced a player making $985,000 off the top 51 list. All right. I just happen to there's several players who have that salary on the team. I just happened to choose Billy Zappi as the person he took off the list. All right. I'm thinking a quarterback replacing a quarterback. All right.
Right. Miguel, awesome stuff going forward. Definitely a lot of excitement in Foxborough and a lot to keep an eye on. However, there are still 3 picks that have not been signed. Jalen Polk, Caden Wallace, Layden Robinson. When we come back, I'm going to pick Miguel's brain about those 3 and ask him which Chiefs may be the next domino to fall. And of course, in a segment to Locked On Patriots, Miguel's going to take us home by setting the record straight and putting to rest all of those erroneous cat myths floating around out there when this episode of the Locked On Patriots podcast continues, a proud part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Listen up, Locked On listeners. You want to get tickets to watch your favorite team in Foxborough in their home opener in September against Seattle, but you just can't find an easy and affordable way to do it. Well, you shouldn't have to worry when you're buying tickets to your next big event. Choose Game Time, because with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets. And the Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. So again, create an account and redeem the code LOCKEDONNFL. That's LOCKEDON for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Patriots fans, thank you for joining us here today again on Locked On Patriots. And joining me on this Foxborough Finance Pulse Check episode is who else? The PatsCap himself, the only man that is able to give us all the information we need with relation to the Patriots' finances, my good friend Miguel Benzan, the PatsCap himself. Miguel, in the previous segment, you absolutely brought it home by giving us a brick-by-brick detail, my friend, with regard to extensions and the signings and how the signings initially of Joe Milton, Jahiem Bell, Marcellas worked their way up to Javon Baker. And then, obviously, the crown jewel of the day, Tuesday, word coming out that the Patriots and Drake Maye have agreed to terms on his rookie contract. But, Miguel, there are still 3 Patriots that have yet to sign on the dotted line. We know it's a formality, folks, but there is still a protocol that has to be followed. Miguel, when you look at the 3 picks that are still outstanding for the New England Patriots, who do you believe will be the next domino to fall, and what type of impact the order in which these players sign will have on the New England Patriots finances, if any?
Okay, I would expect it to be the 4th round pick. All right. I was surprised they didn't announce at the same time they did it Baker. All right. Literally, it's same kind of structure. A little bit more money. All right. But it's the only guaranteed money is the signing bonus. All right. And that's it. He's going to have the same minimum salaries as Baker. All right. I was surprised by it. So the next thing would be the 3rd round pick, Caden Wallace. All right.
Mm-hmm.
His salary is going to be a little bit different than the other guys. And I should say this at the beginning. All right. The salaries for the people drafted in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th round are just at the minimum. All right.
Mm-hmm.
For the people drafted in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd round, there's a 25% rule. All right. And you could see that with Drake Maye's deal. All right. So you could see right now his cap number. Oh, and of course I didn't update this thing, but 25% of his cap number is 1,665,444. All right. And that is how much his compensation increases each year. But because then he's got the little increase in his base salary, and then he's got the roster bonus, the 3rd day roster bonus. All right. So that is why his salary increases like that. He doesn't have so these numbers here are the minimum salaries, and then he has this extra thing. All right. This is true for this extra bonus, extra compensation, this 25% thing. It's going to be true for everyone drafted in the first 3 rounds. All right. Everyone who's get drafted in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th rounds, they're going to have this minimum salary. All right. And you can see, like, you'll see some agents, especially for the 7th round pick, say the player signed a $4 million deal. Well, folks, that's just for the minimum salaries. All right. He's not getting, it sounds a lot of money, but he's actually not guaranteed, especially when you're 7th round pick, only guaranteed money is maybe $100,000 signing bonus. But the agents fluff it up by saying he has a 4.02 something, a $4.03 million deal. All right. So the 3rd round pick, he's going to get, that's Caden Wallace. He's going to have the 25% rule applied. There's no guarantee money but the signing bonus. I thought maybe that they would start giving guaranteed money to 3rd round picks this year, but the owner said no. And I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but you can't tell me that the owners aren't colluding on this. Okay. I think they're willing to have guaranteed money for 1st round picks and have guaranteed money salaries for the 2nd round picks, but they're not willing to have guaranteed money for the 3rd round picks. All right. So for Polk, they're going to probably negotiate about how much guaranteed salary he's going to get in his 4th year salary. Because we know, I can tell you right now, his 2024 salary is going to be fully guaranteed. Whatever he gets in compensation for 2025 is going to be fully guaranteed. Whatever he gets in compensation in 2026 will be fully guaranteed. They're negotiating about how much he's going to, if his 2027 compensation is going to be fully guaranteed. All right. I could see that there's not a lot of people who drafted around him who got signed. So I could see this taking a little bit longer than maybe going into May. I could see, not into May, into July. All right. Oh my gosh, I got Drake Maye on my mind. Okay.
It's May Day, bud.
No, I literally. All right. So hopefully that answers your question, Mike. I was like, go off course.
No, absolutely. Without question. And I'm glad that you broke down the differences that we're going to be seeing in the deals with the 3rd rounder, with Caden Wallace, and the intricacies in terms of guaranteed money and how that negotiation is going to go with the 2nd rounder. I was curious as to why the 4th rounder would not be announced at the same time. It was a little surprising to me that Layden's contract was not announced at the same time Javon Baker's, because from previous conversations, and you've been doing this now with us on Patriots for the better part of 5 seasons, it usually stands to reason that those 4th round deals don't differ too much. But it is good to know, and I think you lined it perfectly as to what up may be and why that may be the next domino to fall. But this is going to be very interesting over the course of the next couple of days, watching this Patriots rookie class, this draft class come together, and all these guys signing their rookie deals. Miguel, before we move on from the subject, I don't want to steal your thunder when it comes to setting the record straight, but because we're still dealing with the rookies and we're still dealing with first-year players, a lot of questions come into Locked On Patriots. We get a lot of questions. Murph and I get a lot of mailbag questions regarding the undrafted rookie free agent class. When it comes to undrafted rookie free agents that the Patriots have signed, or money that might be earmarked to bringing in guys that could either come in for tryouts or that may not make other rosters and come in here to New England, what type of salary cap situation should the Patriots be in? Obviously, they've got a lot in reserve right now. They're not going to be hurting, but what should the Patriots expect? What type of impact could that have on the Patriots' salary cap for this
great question.
season?
So there's a limit to how much the total UFA class can get in the signing bonus. And I'm going to just use a round number of $180,000. All right. So they can get you can guarantee any amount of their salary. All right. What usually has happened is they'll guarantee, if you really have a lot of competition for the player, you'll guarantee them up to the practice squad salary. All right. I'm looking at the UDFAs. Not one of them got the what a practice squad player would get fully over the year. All right. Chauncey Huntley got the most guaranteed salary, got $175,000. All right. And folks, I know that's more money than the guaranteed money than what the guys got in the 6th and 7th round. All right. But all of this is really, I consider it a prepayment of his practice squad salary. It doesn't guarantee him a roster spot, folks. We just saw that with Malik Cunningham, right, from last year, who got a decent amount of guaranteed salary, but he didn't make the 53-man roster. Nor did tight end Andrew Breck. Shout out to Claire Cooper. All right, when he was an undrafted free agent, he got a ton of guaranteed money for an undrafted free agent, but did not make the roster. Malcolm Butler was a tryout player, got zero guaranteed money, made a 53-man. It really, the guaranteed money is, folks, is an indication of the team saying, yeah, we think we like you, going to sign you to the practice squad, but it doesn't guarantee you a spot on a 53-man roster, whatever the guaranteed money. It's what you do in the training camp, what you do in the OTAs, and what you do when you study in the playbook. All right, that matters. All right, because literally $175,000 is so small in comparison to $255 million. All right, so I could tell you right now, Mike and I, they got total. We have 6 UDFAs with a total of $370,000 in guaranteed salary. Their total signing bonus amount was $84,500. All right, none of them right now are in the top 51 list. The highest current cap number is $5,000. All right, because only the signing bonus proration counts against the cap right now, because the $795,000 salary is not high enough to put them in the top 51 list. All right. So, for example, if they were to waive Chauncey Hunter, all right, the Patriots would lose $175,000 in cap space because the salary would guaranteed. Right. Hopefully he clears waivers, then you could sign him to the practice squad, and then you get credit on next year's cap for $175,000. All right. And so that's why the players won't get that. He's not going to get the $175,000 twice. Okay. He's going to get it one time for the Patriots. So that hopefully answers your question. There's what? Some UDFAs, 3 of them, didn't get any guaranteed salary. All they got was a signing bonus. All right. And I should have said this in the beginning. Thank you, Mike. This is the last week that a player can get cut and future signing bonus preparations hit the 2020. All of it hits the 2024 cut. Okay, because starting after June 1st, if you have future signing bonus preparations and you get cut, those future signing bonus preparations will hit the 2025 cap. All right.
Very good point.
Okay, so that's gonna be interesting to see. I know it's Sophie. Oh, I hate when people mispronounce my name, so I'm not gonna mispronounce it. I'm not gonna try to attempt to say your last name. I know Sophie had talked about Juju. All right. And there's a big difference in the cap hit in dead money if you cut or traded before June 2nd. As you can see, so like here, this is the can you scroll, Mike, to the right? Okay, you can see this is afterwards. You can see the difference if you can look at it. All right, because the two basically will, if you wait till June 2nd to cut them or to trade them, that 2025 signing bonus proration will be on the 25 cap rather than on the 2024 cap. All right.
And folks, if you do any exploration on your own when it comes to salary cap information and you look at the tabs, especially on overthecap.com, you'll notice pre-June 1st, post-June 1st, Miguel has outlined very clearly why that designation exists and the cap hits that result as of whether or not the player is cut or traded before the deadline and then after that deadline. So excellent point, and I'm glad that you mentioned Juju because it is a popular question that a lot of people have out there. Miguel has outlined very nicely here what it means for the Patriots if they do hold on to him, if they don't, and what the pre and post June 1st implications will be for that financially. Thank you so much, buddy. This was phenomenal. And folks, we are not done yet because Miguel has still got a few more up his sleeve. We are going to set the record straight in a segment unique to Locked On Patriots, where Miguel is going to take a velvet hammer to all those erroneous cap myths floating around out there, and he's going to educate everyone, including yours truly, when this episode of the Locked On Patriots podcast wraps up right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Listen up, Boston sports fans. It's winner take all time in the NBA and the NHL, and FanDuel's giving you a shot to bring home a big win of your own. Do you have enough confidence in your fandom to make it work for you? Well, if you're going to do so, do it with FanDuel, because right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 to bet on spreads, money lines, player props, and so much more. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn and make every playoff shot count. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Patriots fans, thank you once again for joining us here today on Locked On Patriots. And we are absorbing the wisdom, the counsel, the wit, and the financial genius of the Pharaoh of Foxborough Finance himself. The new name we're going with right now in this episode is the Commander-in-Chief of Calculations, my good friend Miguel Benzan himself, joining us to talk about Drake Maye's rookie deal, all of the rookie deals that have been signed, those that haven't been, and also some very interesting information on the undrafted rookie free agents as well. But Miguel, we've been doing this show now together for about 5 years now. You have been our financial expert. You're a dear friend, and I always love when you join me here on Locked On Patriots. It's always my honor, and I truly mean that. But one of the things I love most about having you on, my friend, is giving you the platform to set the record straight, to eradicate all of those cap myths that are floating around out there that are either shared by people like me in the media or fans or pundits. There are a lot of times where inaccurate information on the salary cap is shared. Folks, I'm not going to point the fingers at anybody. I'll point it at myself. I've done it. Miguel's called me out on it, made me a lot better when it comes to this. That's why whenever I have a question, I always go to Miguel and he sets me straight. So, buddy, I'm going to ask you to do that now. I'm going to ask you to take a look around Patriots Nation and let us know some of those cap myths that are floating around out there you need to set the record straight on. Floor is yours, PatsCap.
Okay, let's talk about it, Mike. All right. Elliot Wolf goes on Kate Adams' show today. And she asked him about the spending. All right. And he argues, yeah, we have spent money. All right. And folks, and I pointed this out to Mike, and let's see. These are the Patriots that signed in free agency. I'm not okay. They didn't sign any big name external free agents. They did try to sign Calvin Ridley. All right, but they didn't get it. They didn't. He took more money with Tennessee, and now I gotta say this: when I heard about Calvin Ridley, somebody had asked me. I think he asked me on Twitter, but I don't think I got the chance to respond. How much money I would stop at? All right, because he was around there. I think they were talking about $18 million. I said I'll go as high as $20 million API. Patriots have reportedly offered 22. He got 23. All right, and I could see why they stopped at 20. They weren't going to top that. All right, when Nico Collins just signed a deal for 25. All right, Calvin really is not Nico Collins. All right, he shouldn't be that close to Nico Collins. All right, so if the Patriots are going to top 23, they have to go top 20, 24, 25. That's too much for Calvin Ridley. All right, but so if you don't want to give credit for trying, that's fine. But let's see what they actually did, and let's scroll down a bit. And this is just for this year. The Patriots are right now 24th, in 2024, 8th in total spending, 7th in API, 6th in full guarantees. There's another column called total guarantees on Over the Cap, and I got all this information from cap.com. All right, they have another column called total guarantees. I don't use that column because some of those guarantees never become like injury guarantees in the future, never become full guarantees. So the only ones the only guarantees I guarantee are full guarantees. All right, because I know that you have to pay them out. All right, 5th and first year cash, Mike. All right. Mm-hmm. So they signed a total of 11 players who were not on another team in 2023. I don't know if I think that's around the league average. It might even be higher than the league average. All right. The lowest ranking on those 4 categories is 8th. All right. And if you want to say, hey, they didn't sign a big name, that's fine. But let's not say that equates that they didn't spend the money this year. They have spent the money. All right. And then we have some, I don't want, Mike, I was thinking about this, about setting the record straight, but I don't want to name names because we didn't given the opportunity to I could say this, but I'm not giving the name. I'm not giving the opportunity to counter their argument, to support their argument. There's someone who said, well, Patriots have $50 million in cap space and they're trying to fight against the narrative that didn't spend money. Folks, cap space is not cash. Cap space is not cash. Cash is not cap space. And I can show you that. I showed you the things where Drake Maye is going to get over $23 million signing bonus in cash this year. Plus, and he's got the $795,000 salary. That's $24 million in compensation this year. But against the cap, he's only going to count $6.7 million. All right? So I can't stress this enough, Mike. Cap space is not cash. And folks, if you think that the Patriots are cheap, are not spending money, I'm willing to bet $500 right now, folks. All right, and I'll say they will finish in the top 10 in spending for 2024. All right, and you lose if you lose the bet, just give the money to Harvard Habitat of Humanity. I am sure these guys who keep on hopping on the cash spending of the Patriots are not willing to put their money where their mouth is. I am. All right, because why am I willing to do so, Mike? Because I know the Patriots have close to $50 million in incentives. That current cash total has zero incentives in it. Does anyone really believe that not one Patriot's going to earn not one incentive of this year? Come on. All right. After they sign their draft picks, they're going to be in the top. They're already right now 13th in active cash spending and 13th in total cash spending by overthecap.com. All right. This team this team leads the leagues in incentives. All right. And let's pretend some players don't understand this. Why? It's probably because of injuries. That means if you have injuries, you have salaries as replacement players. So folks, I'm putting out there. I'm trying to raise money for the Habitat of Humanity. if you're sure that Patriots are cheap and have been cheap this year, and let's say this, I'm gonna say I don't want to name some names of my followers, but I would, but I don't know how you guys gonna. But let's. I'm willing to put the $500 and you lose, and we'll just give it a habit of humanity. All right. I don't know what else I could say about it, because Mike, like literally, like we started hearing about the cash spending in February, in March, in April, and the Patriots had the third overall pick. We all knew at that time that the third overall pick, no matter who it was going to get a signing bonus of over $20 million. All right. But no one's, when they were complaining about the cash spending, they weren't including that what the Patriots going to pay out in the signing bonus and that money. So you could ding the Patriots for not getting a big name free agent. I'm fine with that. But let's not say they didn't spend, because that's not the facts. That's just not the fact. That's not the truth. That's just fake news. And it's
absolutely well said.
And that's, Mike, if we were in a bar, all right, and we were with someone who said the Patriots didn't spend money this year, all right, I would be like saying, let's just put some money right down. I'll buy the next 10 rounds if you're. We can just go round for round on drinking on this. Right? But you cannot tell me when you are fifth and first year cash this year, and it is May 28th, and you still have 3 draft picks left to sign. All right, because remember, right now, over 76% of the draft picks have been signed. So I'm using the site overthecap.com. So most of the draft picks have been signed. All right. And you're gonna tell me that none of these guys who have incentives, like Kendrick Bourne, Austin Hooper, KJ Osborne, Hunter Henry, none of them are gonna get not $0 in incentives. All right, come on. I don't believe that at all, and I am willing to bet money on it. And that's and it's disappointing, Mike. Like someone said today in a tweet, in theory, re-signing your own free agents doesn't make you better, right? And it could cost, like, for example, I use Michael Owino as an example. Well, they had to pay him more money than he was getting paid. All right? I mean, but if you didn't sign Michael Owino, you would have a big hole at right tackle.
Exactly.
All right? So the Patriots can't win in the media. They signed the best offensive tackle in free this year. I mean, that's my opinion, but that's an opinion that was shared by most people doing free agent evaluations. If you don't like, okay, that's just a consensus. He was the number 1 offensive tackle out there in free agency. All right. If they had let him go, Mike, the same beat writers would complain about the Patriots being cheap. They re-sign him, and they don't get credit for it. And let's be real. The best, who you most likely be right about? A player you've seen in your organization for the last 4 years, or an outside player? Where are you taking the most risk? The outside player versus the guy who's been on your system for the last. All right. So do you want the Patriots to throw money away, or do you want them to spend money wisely? That becomes the question. That's my ending. That's all I got. Because literally, Mike, I've heard more times this year the Patriots has spent less money in the last 10 years. All right. And I'm thinking, over the last 10 years, they won 3 Super Bowls and been to another one. All right. And I'm like, what else do you want? Like, literally, that's what you focus. If you really want to be a fan of cash spending, become a fan of the Cleveland Browns. Okay. They spend more money than anybody else. What have they done in the last 10 years? I'm sorry, my friend Jack Duffin, who covers the Browns salary cap. All right. But what have they done in the last 10 years? Who would you rather be over the last? Ask someone who's not a football fan. and say, who would you rather be a fan of the last 10 years? The Cleveland Browns, who have won Jack, or the New England Patriots? All right?
Drop us a line in the comments section below. Let us know what you're thinking. And you can always drop questions to PatsCap at his Twitter, at PatsCap, or you can drop them right here on Locked On Patriots in the YouTube comments section. Always willing, always accurate. You cannot ask for better than this man when it comes to Patriots salary cap coverage. In my humble opinion, you can't ask for a better man in any way, shape, or form. He is my dear friend, and all the praise that I heap on him is certainly not prefabricated, folks. It is from the heart, because he deserves it and then some. Miguel, thank you for joining us here today. Once again, you want to follow the Commander-in-Chief of Calculations at PatsCap. And folks, keep it right here on Locked On Patriots, because we still have expert analysis coming throughout the week from Locked On hosts. Yeah, that's right. We're going to be crossing the streams later this week. And don't forget, mailbag was moved a little bit due to the holiday. We will be bringing you the mailbag here on Thursday. Our good friend Thomas Murphy joins us to wade through what is a robust mailbag this week. Folks, you're not going to want to miss it. But in the meantime, I want to sincerely thank my good friend Miguel Benzan for joining me today. And most of all, I want to thank all of you in Patriots Nation for joining me and for continuing to make Locked On Patriots a daily part of your New England Patriots coverage. On behalf of the Pharaoh of Foxborough Finance himself, Miguel Benzan, I'm Mike Debate, reminding all of you to stay safe and to stay well, and to be the change you wish to see in the world. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you back again tomorrow on Locked On Patriots.